not sure how to handle them except by turning it off. Does anyone who has technological know-how, I would be appreciative.
How to what?
Technological know-how. Know what they're doing with this. Suppose I should keep talking more.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, again, thank you all for being here. I think we're going to refer to this now as the Pig's Eye Almanac.
I think it's just...
Oh, okay. All right. That was Louis Murphy. Let me tell you more about Louis Murphy. Louis Murphy was born under yet another sign of irrational superstition. Louis actually continues to pay for an education that will guarantee his work will mostly show up well edited in yet another JCPenney's advertisement catalog. Until he dominates the world, please welcome Louis Murphy.
Let's see. I'm going to get this for the tall people. Hey! I know. I'm obviously a hooker. I was in the 2012 edition. I wrote a short nonfiction story about a homeless man that saved me from a lot of shit back in 1996. And rather than read that, I'm going to read some other stuff because that's printed, and this is stuff that kind of continues on in that tradition. This is called Citizen Watch. Humidity on high. There's a standing water from last night's storm. It refuses to evaporate from me. I barked at the pools. I hissed, but still surface drops like decorative glass beads wait on the seat of my metal fold-out chair. Grinning promises of a wet rump if I dare sit down where I usually do this smoke. I'm sick of standing, though. This is the 7th cigarette morning already, and the cloud cover has not helped. Belligerence hanging around. The whole situation is this front's fault, but the cloud banks display only the slow, delicate waddles of over-intelligent idiots. They wait, and roll around, encouraging humidity. The cats in Frogtown are out of hand. They're everywhere. They breed. Now enclaves of cute-ass little minimals are mewling from behind dumpsters. The queens leave their little ones to hunt both the bat dusks and the songbird mornings. Local cottontail populations are afraid to go out and nibble clover at night. Whole sections of the bird species are incensed, but the problem is being addressed. St. Paul City is funding roundups, all the feral cats caught and live traps sequestered until sterilized. A big cream-colored van with pictures of wagging puppies and smiling hamsters and chinchillas rolls out, spraying, spaying, and neutering. It's a gorgeous Bob Barker Lose Your Love Tools marathon, cleansing. Then the beasts return to the street to work. Mice and inconveniences disappear like the children of these cats will disappear like approval given without consideration. Who cares about the lost anyway? They're only animals. The homeless keep gathering near my bridge. They trample the grass easements, crowd the mud puddles adjacent to the freeway. They're nearly off-track. This strained display in their worn ligaments wires like those in chain link fence. Tired things. A week ago I called the police and officers scared the dirt burgers away for an hour or so. Then on Saturday, Public Works raised a copse of trees and shrubs that the homeless have used to hide from public eyes for over a decade. This haste and hate, harassment. Plans are being made to fence that garden area off, plant some respectable flowers, maybe mums. These animals need to leave. I invest in this city, its zoning, its hatred, the indefinite allowances of our neighborhoods. Inconveniences are not acceptable here. If I have to, I'll get the neighbors together. We all can afford the time to picket on our mental health days, to take time off to print signs, staple morals to boards, simple things, old news, and camera crews. I have been short-term homeless before, and that's why it makes a huge difference to me, but it's also because I don't think I've ever met a community of homeless people that are entirely sane, and that would include me. I'm completely not, and that's okay. Street signs and marionettes. Years of lost battles. My marionette strings curling memories, I understand, but then my face laughs something like caught on concrete Polaroid, and your impossible gesture, you climb up on Wabasha Bridge railing edge and I clap. What are my reasons for this inescapable joy? Not our shared background that glows with a soft slice of the sharpest blades unnoticed at first. We're bleeding, soon kindled and crawling with metallic wasps digging in. I hum to the LPN, I am so tired, as she places okay in a tiny paper cup, 2 thick pills where the adjective tragic should be. Now tattooed green confessions creep down my arms, thick veins cold, in another day treatment clinic where we convicts have had casedness. We huddle on cloth-covered foam rubber thrones. Our Freon feet bathed, propped up, but even if you want a prop, it requires a prescription. I'm not kidding. We number, share our scars, display belt stripes, commitment to hurt-worn self-check-ins after. Morning medications wear off, our jowls get better. We recount recent harvested evenings and allergic outside contacts we can't hug or hold without being bruised by one another anymore. We're swollen glass of want, and we still try to adopt reasoning that the therapists pass out in info sheets, fast concerning genetics, addictions, disabilities, relations. No justifications are believable to anyone outside this room because there are no reasons that outsiders have to believe that I can accept being out, born to winter in chapped crypt skin. Someday, when I am dark matter explained, I am guessing as a stone heaved out above still water, I will be smooth. I will drown down through all layers of love, becoming self one final time, not worried to return quiet soul in a crow's beak gobbled down into its stomach. My life is all about the guesswork. As is psychiatry. Ask one. We're aging wallpaper, all of us road lines with trees now living unknown and keeping the rowan tree outside the clinic windows. The berries are waxen skinned, and each one of us that stares out there in the morning, we all wish to own even one wish, to age like these yellow berry droplets to orange, maybe alizarin. I was lucky enough, I sent a manuscript off to a local chapbook company, Redbird Chapbooks, this last summer, and they've been extremely great. It finally came out, even though I still continue to edit it, because, I don't know. I'm going to read a couple from that, and then be done, so thank you. The simple task of living. There's always a fitful bed for me of coming cinder days as we both grow brighter, collapsing like falling into a well, eyes drowned in radiance too palpable. Each day I imagine you walking further down a green track in the back country, smiling at angels. Here on vacation, they pass you a nod as you keep walking towards heaven's great green forest. And each night I look at you, my mother, in your chair, breathing softly nearer to that forest shadows. And each morning you glow a little more, knowing it means one less day before your rest. This summer I grew pale, ashen. I'm at the edges of hell itself, but it's mostly because I know that when you go, I'll be alone. But there's morning coffee. We're working together in your backyard on the gardens. Your hair's silver now. My legs have grown long. Artificial. Summer of contemplated suicide gets lost among these mildewed notebooks thrown out of the basement. I do remember looking for the tallest bridges at age 12 that did not span water at the edges here in downtown St. Paul. Softened blows that could break my fall. I saved myself because I cried at the thought of leaving family behind, forced into looking at a corpse most likely. More to more, years later I get open and told I have a form of mental illness. My disability leads me part way, always into depression, but I still wonder sometimes what it would be to know I led a good life and that I stopped the clock to fall away. Something a little bit sad, or less sad, I hope. This is called Not for a Lack of Effort, as summertime poem. I mean, we get to see bats in the summertime, and that's this. So, not for a lack of effort. When I grab at the moon, I only catch bats' wings, and the moon coos and asks me to leave them to their drifting, and then the clouds frown down and ask, what's your problem with bats anyway? And I tell them I only wanted the moon. And they say, ah yes, we also have been reaching for years.